Hello students, welcome to my YouTube channel, and today we will talk about the decimal numbers. Okay, so first of all, I think already you have known little bit about it in the junior classes. You have known little bit about it. Now we will know briefly about it. Okay, so first of all, we will know the structure of the decimal number. That means we will recall the decimal from the junior classes. Okay, so what is the structure of the structure of the decimal number? So generally, what is the structure of the non-decimal number? First of all, do imagine it. Ones, suppose I'm writing here. Ones, tens, hundred, okay, thousand, like this is ending. Okay, ones, tens, hundred, thousand, like this. Generally, non-decimal number we have to count like this, but whenever we will have the decimal number, so decimal number uses to start with ones. Decimal number uses to start with ones, and after ones decimal number will be going. Okay, that means after ones how it will be going. So after ones, what is the place for the decimal number? After ones you have to count tenth, then after 10, hundredth, then thousandth, and as so on. So what is the difference? What is the difference between this system and this one? You can see this one, this ones, this is the common part of the both part. This is the common of the both part. Okay, and whenever it is having non-decimal number, suppose I'm writing 2, 5, 6, 7. That means what? 2567. It's a non-decimal number. But if I will write, if I want to write a decimal number, then how to write? 5, 6, 7. Here suppose 2. Here suppose 2. So tenth means what? That means actually this number. Actually, so first of all write down this number. Number will be, first of all, this number will be what? This number will be what? Number will be 2567, and this number will be what? This number will be what? Will be what? 567. Then after ones, if there is any digit, then after ones you have to take decimal and then 2, and this is called decimal. This is called what? Decimal. This point is called decimal, and the number including the decimal, is called what? Decimal number. So what is decimal? That means if you will have any digit after the ones digit, then you have to take in decimal, and the number including the decimal is called a decimal number. Okay, now try to understand the places of the decimal. So whenever we will have the non-decimal number, so we used to count it like this: ones, yeah, tens, hundred, like this. And after decimal, after ones it will be 10. So what is the difference between these two things? Can you say what is the difference between two things? Here you can see, here it is 10, and here tenth, and here 100 and 100, here 100. In last position it is having D, 100, but here hundredth, here hundredth, DTH, hundredth. Whenever we will have like this TH in the last term, that means you have to think it is in decimal number. Okay, so here also thousand, here thousand, and here thousandth, here 10, here tenth, TH in last position. So these are the difference between the decimal number and non-decimal number. Okay, and this is the places, and whenever you will have including these two parts like this number, then this number is called what? Decimal number. And how to read this number? Now some of the students used to do mistake, little bit mistake here. How to read this number? Suppose I'm writing 567.723. now how to read? Here I'm taking 1 also, okay, 1567.732. now how to read this number? How to read this number? Can you tell? This number, that means whenever you will have a decimal number, then before the decimal, the number can be counted as usual. Before the decimal, this number can be counted as usual. That means as usual means 1567. This is called as usual. 1567 as usual. Then after point, that means after decimal, you have to count all the digit. You have to tell all the digit individually. That means separately. That means after the point you cannot tell 723. You cannot tell. After the point you have to tell 723 like this. That means if you want to read this number, then how to read? 1567 decimal 723. Okay, this is the correct way to read a decimal number, and mostly students used to do this type of mistake, that 1567.723 like this they used to read it, but it is wrong way. What is the correct way? This one. Okay, now first of all we will pause the video to note it down, then we will go forward. Now we will know about the term of decimal places. We will know about the term of decimal places. What is decimal places? Whenever, suppose I have written some decimal places here, so whenever you will have one decimal place, that means one decimal place, that means after decimal you will have one digit, that means 5.1 or 5.2. okay, 6.3, 6.7, okay, 6.0. These are called the one decimal places. And one decimal place means what? After point you will have only single digit. After point single digit, that is called one decimal place. That means after point single digit, after point single digit, after point single digit, after point single digit, after point single digit. Okay, now two decimal places. Two decimal places means after point you will have two digits. After point you will have two digits. Okay, 1.70, 1.03, 7.52, like this. That means here you can see two decimal places. That means after point you will have two digits. Anywhere after point you will have two digits. After point two digits. After point two digits. That is called two decimal places. Because I am telling about these terms because whenever I will solve the question, then I can use this term. So you should know about these terms, and these terms you will have till class 10 and 11, 12 also. So that you should know about this term. In computer also, these things will help you. Okay. So this is called two decimal places. That means after point two places. Three decimal places, after point three places. That means three digits. 003, 1.723, 1.524, anything. That means after point it should be three digits. Four decimal place, after point it will have four digits. 0.0001, 7.0007. Okay, That means you can see after point how many digits, 1 2 3 4, so that it is called 4 decimal places. And 5 decimal places, same thing, after point 5 digits, 1 2 3 4 5, sorry, you have to take 1, otherwise all will be 0, no, 7.0000001 2 3 4 5. You can see here after point 5 decimal means 5 decimal places means after point will be 5 digits. 4 decimal places after point 4 digits. 3 decimal places after point 3 digits. Okay, 2 decimal places after point 2 digits. 1 decimal place after point 1 digit. Okay, these are the decimal information regarding the decimal places. So first of all, pause the video to note it down, then we will go forward. Now we will see some observation of the decimal numbers. Okay, what are the observation? One by one we will see. So what is the first observation? All natural numbers or whole numbers can be represented by decimal number. All the natural numbers or all the whole numbers we can represent through the decimal number. How? Suppose I am writing a natural number 5. So can you write? Now you can see 5 is a non-decimal number because it is not having any point. Now if I want to represent this whole this number in decimal number, then how to write? That means this 5 we can write 5.0 also. Now 5.0, now this is decimal number, and only 5 it is natural number or it is whole number, but 5.0 it is not a natural number, not a whole number, it's a decimal number. Okay, so all the I have given only one example. If you will tell suppose 72, then 72 also we can write as 72.0. Suppose 1574, we can write it as 1574.0, like this. Okay, that means all the natural number or all the whole numbers you can write it as in the form of decimal. Okay, only 0.0, and here I have taken only single 0, no, after point, but as per the requirement you have to take 0 after the point. Okay, as per the requirement, it is not mandatory that you have to take only single 0. As per the requirement you have to take. Okay, now second observation is what? In money related case we have to use 2 decimal places only. In money related case means, suppose I am giving an example, money related. Suppose I am having 10 by 3 rupees. I am having 10 by 3 rupees. Now 10 by 3, that means if you want to write in decimal, then how to write? 3.3333, and it will be continuing. Okay, in that case, in this type of case, that means whenever you are having the rupees, whenever you are having the money related case, that means in that case only you have to use 2 decimal places. And what is 2 decimal? Already I told you, 2 decimal means after the point you will have only 2 digit. That means in this case you can write rupees 10 by 3, you can write rupees 3.33, like this. And after 2 digits you should not take any digits. That means in money related cases you have to keep the decimal number in 2 decimal places only. Okay, whatever it is divisible or not divisible, it doesn't matter, but if it is money related case, only money related case, then you have to keep 2 decimal after 2 decimal places. Okay, now number 3, after decimal all digits have to count individually. Already I told you, after decimal already I told you, suppose 5.732, how to count? 5.732, how to count it? How to read the number? 5.732, this is the correct way. And some of the students used to do 5.732, this is wrong, this is wrong way. Okay, you have to ignore it. And how to read? 5.732. So that I've given here count individual all the digits after decimal, all the digits count. We have to count individually, that means separately, 732 like this. Okay, now some decimal numbers can be represented by the non-decimal numbers. Some decimal numbers, not all decimal numbers, some decimal numbers can be represented by non-decimal number. So how? Suppose 5.000, and this number you can write, it's, you can see 5.00, it's a decimal number, but this number you can write as 5. Why? Because after point you will have only 0. If after point you will have no any digits other than 0, after point if you will have no any digits other than 0 छोड़ के अगर कोई digit नहीं रहेगा, तो then you can write it as like this. Suppose 67.00, then you can write it as 67, and that means this number 4 is opposite of number 1. That means this thing you can write it as this thing, and this thing also you can write it as this thing, and only some decimal numbers, so that I have given only some decimal numbers. But if you are having like this 5.0002 any digits, then you cannot write like this. You cannot write, suppose I'm writing here, you cannot write like this. This is wrong. Whenever you are having the digits after the point, then you cannot ignore the zeros, or you cannot ignore the decimals. Okay, so these are the basic information, okay, about the decimal numbers, and in next class we will talk about further things about the decimal. And thank you for watching my video.